Hey guys, welcome back to Freestyle Friday. Mickey Campbell here, and just appreciate you guys tuning into these shows. I've had a really good time doing them up until this week. I've been talking about the early stages of my wrestling career when Ricky Regal and I were traveling around together doing the Lightning Express. We had a lot of really good times doing that, and I'm going to continue with those stories from early in the career. But Ricky and I have kind of talked about getting together and telling you guys some of those stories together, and him being able to share his insight and shed some light from his perspective on those. So I'm going to save some of those stories for the opportunity for us to be able to get together and share those with you. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit to 1999, 2000. I was doing during a time in my career when I was no longer in a tag team. I was wrestling under the moniker of the Extreme Dream Mickey Free. And at this point in my career, I had like really, really long hair. I know it's hard to believe now for some of you, but I had really long hair. And my character was more of like a rebellious type character who had Native American ancestry and took that to heart and would just fight you. That character being the Extreme Dream, his dream was extreme, and he was willing to do anything and pay any sacrifices to see his dreams come true. So the Extreme Dream was a quote-unquote babyface good guy. The fans seemed to get behind that character, and I had a really good time doing it. And at this particular time, I was working in the western Tennessee area in northeast Mississippi, Alabama, still doing some South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina stuff, but mainly during this particular time I was involved in a feud. For this story, I was involved in a feud in a promotion with a guy named Romeo, and Romeo was hated. I mean, he was a really good heel in that area, and the fans really just liked to see him get beat up, and they really enjoyed when the Extreme Dream would lay out those whippings, because I would hit him with everything but the kitchen sink. And the Extreme Dream did a lot of hardcore type stuff, if you will, tables and chairs and just whatever. So anyways, Romeo and I were in this pretty heated feud in this promotion, and the way they ran that promotion was on Saturdays they would do a TV show, and that TV show would be vignettes or clippings from matches. It was basically an hour-long commercial. It was a really good promotion, and they were really smart about how they went about it. And they would have us in studio live. So some of the clips would be like from weeks past, kind of building up angles or storylines between the competitors. And this particular week, they had me on live. So they were showing things that had happened between Romeo and myself. It were things like him interfering with certain matches I was having with people, him doing interviews or promos and kind of dogging me out a little bit, and him, just being the bad guy and really being a thorn in my side, if you will. And I was telling my side of the story and how I wanted to get even with him and how much the people of Tennessee were behind me. And when we got to the arena that night, we were going to have a street fight, which was no holds barred, everything goes, which was right down my alley for the Extreme Dream. And so I'm doing the interview on live TV, no editing. Everything is literally raw, lower budget type stuff, going straight out live broadcast. And so for my character, I was getting worked up. Every time they would talk about Romeo's, they were showing these clips. I was kind of like doing color commentary going over things that were going on, telling the story, and they were building it up because Romeo and I were going to wrestle each other live that night. So the goal was to get people involved in the TV show, their interest peaked, and them to want to come out and see Romeo get his butt kicked and finally get what he justly deserved for being a thorn in my side for the past several weeks or months or whatever. So I'm doing this interview, and I'm being real serious. I'm in character. I'm fully 100% engaged on what's going on. And there comes a point in time when I'm getting ready to tell Romeo what's going to happen to him that night. So it was cued for me to be, really angry and upset. So It was something like, Romeo, when you get to the arena tonight and we get in that street fight, I'm going to bring everything I got and I'm going to whoop your ass. And when I said that, one of the little guys on the show, his name was Hollywood Little, he comes running up, jumps up both feet in the air, lands in my lap, hits me right between the forehead with a fly swat and says, Mama said you can't cuss like that on TV, Mickey Fee. And I lost it. Now I'm supposed to be this really angry, good guy wrestler, but Hollywood Little is a small person, and his character was he was the manager of his brothers Edie and Biddy Little, and he had dyed his hair blonde, and he wore cut off overalls that were cut off in the shorts and cut off t-shirts under that, and he was like, 3'2". Nobody told me this little guy was gonna come, jump up, kick both feet out straight in the air like that, land in my lap, hit me between the eyes with a fly swatter right in the middle of my forehead, and tell me that, Mama, tell you can't talk like that on TV. So as I'm losing, I can't maintain composure because how does that? When does that happen to anybody, right? Nobody was expecting that, and I just bust out laughing. I completely broke character. I'm sitting there with this little guy in my lap, just laughing so hard he's bouncing up and down. And the guy interviewing me is the owner of the company, and he's under his breath telling me I got to get my stuff together, get back in character, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I got a little person in my lap hit me with a fly swatter, scold me for saying ass on TV. So I'm sorry I said that again, but I was just trying to tell the story here. One of the funniest things that ever happened to me in my career, and I hope I never forget that. I don't do that story any justice. I wish I had a clip of the video. Unfortunately, I don't. As I've told you guys before, I kind of broke up with wrestling, so I didn't keep any of that stuff. But if you can put yourself in that place and me sitting there live on TV, supposed to be angry, ready to go rip this guy's head off, and this little guy comes up and jumps up, lands in my lap, pops me right between the eyes with a fly swatter, and scolds me for using foul language on TV. Unforgettable. So anyways, man, that's Freestyle Friday, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. Got a kick out of it if you can rewind yourself back to 2000, me sitting there with long hair, a little guy in my lap with a fly swatter in his hand. It was pretty funny. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great weekend. God bless you. Don't forget to tune in to Transformation Talk Tuesday. Everything to do with transformation, from starting your transformation journey, what you need to be doing to be successful on your journey, and overcoming the obstacles that will inevitably come up along your way. So stay tuned. God bless you all. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend.